Not so bad. Not so bad.
Adam, how do you like it? Do you like it?
Like what?
Oh,
Oh, the banner's new?
Brand new with the lights.
That's sick.
yeah. The banner's so cool. You even missed the lights. The lights
I
are
needed some streaming like stuff to make it look nicer behind
right
me.
there.
It was
Right
so
there.
plain.
It
So
looks good.
yeah,
Is that your
it's
stream
nice.
view?
And the crazy thing is, it's a party.
Oh shit!
That's pretty
Yeah.
sick.
So I just
Every time you get a kill,
every time I get a sub, just fucking
Oh,
disco.
sub.
Yeah, disco.
you got the lingo.
Yes.
Yeah,
All
all
right,
right.
Adam, it's been a while, man. Since
Has it?
we
Has it been a while?
I don't think because the last time we did an episode, we didn't use it like have a guest. We did it ourselves, right?
That's true.
So it's been like I'd say it's been close to no 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe.
No more.
It can't be
Since
more than
Last
that.
time,
Three of us chatted?
last time with you guys.
Since the three of us chatted?
Since
I
the three
would
of
say
us
it was like
chatted,
2
it's more
months.
than a month
Yeah.
for sure. But I'm saying since we've had a guest,
Oh.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
we took a little bit of a hiatus again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, we'd throw it for a curve, man.
Yeah, we're
But
giving the
we had
people
to
what
let
they
Zoom
want.
update.
You got to keep the listeners itching for more.
Yeah, exactly. We actually haven't done it in so long. I haven't seen this new Zoom update. That's how long it's been.
What's
What, there's
the
an update?
It's just very clean. Everything is a little different.
Are you
Do you
sure?
not have that?
Maybe
Looks
it's
the-
because
looks
you
the same
haven't
to
seen
me.
it in forever.
Oh my god, I feel like it's been a while. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not waiting for Saturday nights where we all get on Zoom now. It's just like that time has passed, you know?
Like, yeah, I
It feels as if that was like a year ago. But
It's been a long time. It feels like it's been a very long time.
it really has.
It's been too
How you
long.
been though?
I've been good. Getting a dog tomorrow, which
Some
is
big news.
Holy
exciting and scary and every
What a move.
emotion. Huh?
What a move.
I know.
Oh, what kind of dog?
It's called a Westie Poo.
All right,
I don't-
anything with the poo in it is cute. All right,
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
was
wee little
that was the
baby.
requirement.
Yeah, I had to have poo.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening that can think of a good name in the next 3 days, send us a DM or send Adam a DM on his email or whatever.
We'll take suggestions.
Are you moved into your own place?
Yeah, we are.
So this is like you're christening it with a dog, right?
Yes.
See, I get a banner, he gets a dog.
Yeah, exactly. different stages in life.
Different stages in life. He's settling down. I'm trying to attract some people, you know. Oh man.
Oh, man.
I don't know, man. I think this might be a Tinder pic. Might have to just pose in front of it, just like, I'm banned
closing
from
my eyes
Tinder.
just 'cause I
I'm
don't
banned
wanna
from
see
Tinder,
it.
but like that's besides the point.
Wait, I'm sorry. We'll talk about that.
That's another time. Yeah.
You're banned from Tinder. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know how you even do. I know so many sketchy people that are not banned from Tinder, and you are.
You'd be surprised, man.
That kind of brings us into this topic.
Remember during our last conversation when Jesse said there's 10% of his life he doesn't share. That 10% is why he's banned from Tinder. You just don't know, Josh.
I can guarantee that. I want to know your 10%, pal.
We'll get there. Maybe that's an episode. Maybe that's just like the
episode would be called
every
Jesse's
percent is something different about me.
Like what qualifies as like 10%? Like if you're like, like quietly like a serial killer, is that like, that's one aspect of your life you're not sharing?
Like that's not what I am.
But no, but to be honest, he's trying to share everything about his life. So if he's not sharing 10%, I'm sharing so much less than him. Like he's going for it. He's like on Instagram. He's doing his reviews.
Dude, I'm just trying to make it big. I don't want to
trying to get out there. I don't know.
I don't want to work, man.
You're sharing more than 10%.
Serb life seems like the best life right now. That's all I have to say.
All right, calm down. It's a couple more months, I think.
I wish. Just have a month or two off would be great.
Isn't Serb going in another 2 months?
Yeah, but yeah,
But listen, a dog. That's a big move.
Big move.
Are you? I guess I gotta ask this. I gotta ask it because it doesn't say anything. Are you adopting a dog? You buying a dog? You have a breeder? Where are you getting the dog?
We went through a breeder. I feel a little guilty, to be
No,
honest.
you shouldn't. You shouldn't. First of all, they have so many dogs at the breeders. Think about it that way. They have a litter of dogs, right?
Here, so I
here's
have
the
a
thing. Here's
question.
the
Okay,
kind
go
of
ahead.
That's not a bad thing.
I don't really have a defense, but we tried. We went through. We looked to adopt,
Mhm.
and there's just super high demand right now. Like
100%.
everyone's looking for for a dog. So all the adoption places we went to, they didn't have any dogs available. So it's not like at the current moment there's a ton of dogs that are like dying to get adopted.
Yeah.
But we could have waited a bit, but we got impatient.
Mhm.
And
Listen.
no one's perfect.
No, but I have a question, and this is gonna be a great transition to our topic today.
Okay, can't wait.
When choosing a breeder, did you use social media to find it along the likes, the comments, the reviews of the breeder?
I like the transition. Ratings would have been nice. A rating system. If there was a rating system, Kijiji is starting, I think, to introduce ratings. For the
Okay.
longest time, they haven't had it. And I think that's kind of why I don't know. Have you guys used Facebook Marketplace for anything?
Once, but I took my stuff right down. I was just getting.
Have you used
lowballed on everything.
Kijiji a bunch in the past or no?
No.
No?
I've dabbled.
Okay.
Never.
Okay, maybe I just buy and sell a lot of used shit. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. I feel like I've used Kijiji a handful of times and Facebook Marketplace. Anyways, where I was going with that
Yeah.
is Facebook Marketplace seems to be the new Kijiji, and I think ratings is a big part of that. Like from a trust perspective, Kijiji, you just don't know what kind of sketch ball you're going to run into.
But the ratings, like that's a good point. But to that point, even like Yelp reviews and ratings like that, even reviews to me are like ratings. Do you know?
Yeah.
It's exactly what you're saying. But like I even do that now with like restaurants. If I'm going to order from a new restaurant, I go right on Google. I'm like, reviews. Is it above a 3.5 to a 4, and I'm good.
Yeah.
If it's lower than that, not eating there.
Because you set
Yeah.
expectations for yourself. Because
100%.
based on other people's opinions.
If it has a genuinely bad rap, you're probably not going to go for it. Am I right? But to ratings, I mean, like what I'm thinking of a social rating is like if you wanted to have a new venture where it's not based on past things in that same venture. Like if you wanted to open up a restaurant, let's say, or get a loan from a bank, right? But you had a restaurant in the past and it went poorly, but you know what I mean? Like that's based on a past venture that was the same kind of thing. But if a social rating is like you have nothing to do with this field, but your rating's good enough, like it's above a certain number, and then they're like, okay, well, your rating's good in everything else that's going on in the world. You're fine. I can give you a loan. That's kind of what I'm reading up on. It's like social rating is based on everything, not just a specific. Yeah, am I confusing it?
So you're talking about maybe Jesse? Do you want to do or someone do an intro maybe for people listening on like what we're playing?
I think you have a good perspective on what social rating is.
Okay.
If you want to give what it is, and then we'll jump into. You have a bunch of good questions that I'm looking at right now. We can kind of answer those as we go along.
Okay. So, yeah, I thought it'd be cool to talk about, as Josh, you were saying, I think you were going into more general social ratings.
Yes.
Like today, to your point, there's more specific ratings around like something very specific. Like you have a credit rating around, I guess, your finances and stuff. And then if you work for Uber, you have an Uber driver or whatever rating. If you're a doctor, there's like, I think Rate MD or stuff like that. But social credit rating is like a concept, to your point, where it could be general, like, is this person trustworthy? Are they nice? Stuff like that. And I guess I've started thinking more about it after seeing there's a Black Mirror episode on it, which Jesse, we talked about. You've seen that, right?
I've seen it too.
You both have seen it? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then have we talked about in Jesse, or have you heard about in China? They've been toying around with like okay.
Yeah, it's to gain like better behavior, and it's just like
It's just to create better social constructs.
exactly.
Like make people just better in general, right? Like, oh, you did something wrong. If you don't say sorry, you can't do this. And like
So,
everybody in society knows. Oops. Everyone in society knows, right?
yeah. So let me ask you guys, what does your gut say about two questions? Do you think our future is going to have something like this? And then second question is, do you think it's going to be overall, if it were to exist, are you optimistic about it, or you think this is going to be really shitty?
Josh, you go ahead. I
Oh,
think,
okay. You want me to?
or unless you want me to go, I can.
Well, okay. Yeah, Jess, you go for it, and I'll think about me.
Okay. So for me, I think this is going to become a thing. That pudding looks delicious, by the way.
Some ice cream I made. It melted a bit over the last 15 minutes. Continue. Sorry.
To me, social ratings, I think, is going to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
We already get rated without knowing it, right? Like when you get out of an Uber, as much as we rate the drivers rate us, right? And that's like a constant thing that people are just developing into their apps and stuff like that. Like when you stay at a hotel, I don't know if like these people are writing, oh, this was a good customer. Like I don't know if they have an inter hotel chain full of things that, you know, when you go to call them and they say, hey, like, do you have any rooms available? No, sorry, we don't. You know, maybe I don't know if they see any of that stuff. I think it's going to become a thing. Do I want it to be a thing? Not really, because if you do something bad, like everyone makes mistakes. What's the threshold of them, like, you know, keeping you from doing things in this world because of what you've done in the past, right? That's what ratings are. Like with Uber, for example, the higher the rating for the driver, the higher the priority you get for the rides. You get higher priority, right? It's like that episode of Black Mirror. That woman wasn't able to, you know, rent the car because that one person rated her a little bit too low, and she went to a 2.75 or whatever it was, but she needed a 3. She needed a 3 stars, right? Am I optimistic? It's going to make life a little bit weird because you're going to have to, like, I don't think it's going to have a star above your head, you know, where you wear these glasses and it just shows above your head with a bunch of stars that you swipe imaginary. Am I optimistic? Kind of. It makes me a little bit more, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you said, trustworthy. Like I can trust people a little bit better knowing that they've hit certain like thresholds. But at the same time, it's like, would I feel bad not choosing somebody because I know that they're probably a good person, but they have like a 1 star? Yeah, I think I'd feel bad.
So what I'm also thinking of is if you start implementing it now, there's not like a starting point. It's like you kind of where you are right now is like what your credit rating or like what kind of rating you're going to get. So people that are already doing very well and successful and pay their bills and do all these things on time already would have such a substantial rating. And for it to go down, it would just be like they did something horrible. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So the two things I would think of is, like China, I think that we might develop an app like WeChat or this Alipay or whatever it is. The only sketchy thing for that is that they are going to be tracking everything you do through that app. And unlike it's sort of what's happening right now, but then it's like everyone's very much aware of it, and you're going to be kind of walking on eggshells. That's kind of what I am not so happy about, like the transition from normal life, this so-called normal life we have now, into this like bird's eye view, watching every move you do and rating you for it. But the positive I see is people working on getting it better. So if you do have if you do mess up or you have a bad rating, you didn't pay it on time, your rating goes down, you can then do more good things to get it higher up. Hopefully that ends up being like people aren't going to do illegal things to get it up. Yeah, I don't know what you could do bad to get it up. You know what I mean? And
for sure.
I can definitely have a workaround. I don't know. I'm just thinking of possibilities. I'm thinking of movies.
No, I
But
think you're right.
I do see it happening. I do see us trying to adopt it, like we have done of a lot of the things from Europe and Asia, and we've adopted so many things from there. But it's probably going to happen.
Do
What
you
are your
think?
thoughts, Adam? Before you move on, like, are you
Yeah.
optimistic? Like, are you, if they're just like next year, 2021, they just say, hey, from now on, everything you do will be under a social rating system, regardless of what you do. This will put you into different levels of society. Like, would you be looking forward to that, knowing where you are right now?
So I think I've noticed I have a tendency to always like try to think about like what is like the worst case scenario for this.
Mm.
Like that's where my mind jumps. Like how could this go super
Yeah.
terribly? But when I think about it, and I think about like some of the current applications of rating systems, like to me, like I rely on Amazon ratings so much.
Oh
And
yeah.
like that is a beautiful thing that I can go on there and I can just see that 8,000 other people have already bought this and like vouched for it. Like that is amazing.
I
Um,
agree completely. I'm looking for a couch. That's all I've been doing is 5-star. What's the most 5-star ratings? Yeah, exactly what you're saying.
and I think about like hiring. The hiring process is for companies is something that like I've thought about a lot related to this. And the biggest problem with it is like, how do you trust someone off of like meeting them for an hour? Like you have no idea. And that's why I feel like oftentimes people who are really good don't get a job. And sometimes people who are really shit get a job just because it's like so hard to judge.
Mm-hmm.
But if there was like some kind of rating system, maybe it would be helpful for people to be like, okay, this people really like this dude. Like people have vouched for him and say he's really trustworthy, he's a good worker. And I guess we have a little bit of that. Like I think LinkedIn tried to do it with they have you can what's it
At the
called? Like different
bottom,
skills at the
yeah, at the
bottom.
bottom, you could put like 5 stars for like Word or something.
Yeah, so very similar, right? And I was thinking like how similar do you think like likes on social media are or followers
Mm.
uh and stuff like that. Like it's not a rating system, but it is like a metric that like people look at you and like judge you based on, right? Like if someone has a ton of followers on Twitter, you kind of view them as probably more reputable and stuff like that.
So I really like this question. I really like this question because in university I took a course on social media. Yes, you can laugh. It was a joke, a complete joke. And we learned the different ways people talk on different social medias and how you depict all their messaging and stuff like that and their followers and likes and what those mean to people. To me, I know Jake Paul is not a good person. Jake Paul is just not a good person. Same thing with like all those big people that are just clout chasers, the ones that, go for the views. I know that he has 15 or 20, 25 million people that subscribe to him on YouTube, subscribe to him on
Mm.
Instagram and stuff, and he gets millions of likes on his posts. I will not follow him. If he says do something, I will not do it. Unless it's like, one of those, you should donate to a charity and like a whole
Mm.
bunch of other people are with him. I'm not going to do it because of, I know him before, like, I don't know. It's just like hard to,
So are you saying that like the number of followers, having a lot of followers to you doesn't necessarily mean someone is like legit or
yeah,
trustworthy?
like
I agree with
PewDiePie.
you.
PewDiePie, don't get me wrong. He made great videos for a very long time, right? And then he slipped up and made a World War II joke, right, in one of his videos, and all of his sponsors, GMC, Disney, all of them dropped him like a sore thumb, just absolutely dropped him. He has 100 million subscribers now on YouTube. He's the highest subscribed. Like, do you
Yeah.
trust him even though something bad like that has happened? Like, if social ratings things was a thing, his
Mhm.
score would go way down because of those comments.
Maybe, I don't know. I think people acknowledge that people make mistakes. It's
Mhm.
to me it's like if you keep messing
Yeah.
up, right? Then if you keep fucking up, then your score should drop. But on your point around like Jake Paul, and I think maybe this is we've we've talked about maybe also having a conversation around like should there be dislike buttons on
Yes.
Twitter and Facebook the way YouTube has it. What I was gonna say is I haven't watched much of Jake Paul stuff, but I imagine based on what you're saying, he probably gets a lot of dislikes as well on his YouTube videos. Like the people who are super legit and reputable, I bet you they're like 99% likes
Yeah.
to like 1% dislikes, where maybe yes he has a lot of followers, but maybe he get like a lot more people dislike him as well.
Well, on Twitter and Facebook, they have like, it's kind of a different way to find out if someone disliked it. And for me, I find like you'll see like the emotes, the little emoticon things, and you'll see like the angry face a lot. And like I'm like, okay, this someone fucked up here.
Good point. Good point.
Right? And for Twitter, I feel like the same thing for that is you'll like see not a lot of likes or not a lot of retweets. You'll just see
Or more
fuck ton of
comments. Yeah.
right? It's like, oh, okay, something went on. This doesn't look good. So like, you know, each platform has their
Good
way
point.
of showing like not doing the right thing.
Yeah. That's a
Do you
good
think
point.
do you think people on these sites should be penalized for the amount of dislikes, like on YouTube?
No.
Like if there's a video that has 1 million views,
Yeah.
right, give or take, you're not going to get 1 million likes or 1 million dislikes. You're never going to get the same amount of views. You know, people are going to watch it and forget to like it or whatever.
When you say penalized, you mean like pull their content down or something like that?
Yeah, or like instead of giving them their monetization amount, give them less because it was such a poorly rated video.
Jeez.
Right?
Ooh.
Like,
Ooh. The monetization one's interesting to me. I don't my gut says I don't like the idea of pulling down their content.
no.
Um, I'm
But
very much in favor of like um, try to make it as like much free speech as possible. Like let them have their content up there, but like put tools in place to make it easy for like people like us to be able to avoid their content if we don't want content that a lot of people dislike. For example, the same way on Amazon I can sort by customer review, maybe you can sort by like percentage or something like that on YouTube so that I can avoid content that a lot of people dislike. I don't know.
the only problem I have with like the dislikes of a thing is like a lot of people might like the reputation can be so skewed from one video. Like one video can definitely not reach someone's opinion the same way they mean it. So from the interpretation of others in a video might not be like the best way to rate somebody. Like the
Right.
like and dislike thing has always been very sketchy, where it's like I can't really I don't know like is the context this person's saying it, but I see a lot of dislikes. Is it bad, or should I watch it and judge it for myself? Do you know what I mean? So it's like it sucks. It sucks that there's not just a like. It would be very interesting if they took away the dislike button in YouTube.
Here's the thing though, with the dislike button on YouTube, I don't know if you remember this. When we were growing up,
Oh,
I'd say probably 6 years ago or 7 years
Sure.
ago, maybe even a little bit like earlier, like 4 or
Mhm.
3 years ago. Diss
Annoying
tracks?
orange days. Annoying orange days.
Yeah, sure, exactly. Diss tracks were a thing on YouTube, right?
Uh-huh.
Like where these you know, these wannabe famous people, not even only on YouTube but on Instagram and you know
Sure.
and Twitter and whatnot. If there was an argument between two people, they were telling people to go and dislike it or go, you know, because obviously there's an algorithm that if it's a liked video, it's going to move higher up on the algorithm, and I know that for a fact because I've read into that a little bit, right? So they'd say like dislike it so it doesn't go high up on the algorithm.
Yeah,
right?
they've had a lot of problems. YouTube.
Right now, I'm going to refer back to if there was a social rating, because one person told all of his followers, how does that impact that person that's getting rated? Right? Like, that's where I'm like, holy hell, like what the hell would happen in that situation?
It's
Like, let's say the guy tells 20 million people that follows him on Twitter to go dislike a tweet or go comment but not like it.
It's like for me, if I would say social media doesn't have the same effect as social rating. It's like a different category of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, for me, in my opinion, I'm thinking it has its own because it could be manipulated so badly by others. From exactly what you just said, so I have a lot of clout, let's say, and I say to somebody, dislike this video because I don't like this person. And now you're going to go ruin their reputation by having 1 million dislikes on a video. It's like, imagine that. It's like, you can ruin somebody. You can ruin somebody's career.
You can ruin someone's life.
Ruin someone's life. It's like, I think the social rate or rating of this thing, it's like, what's like the general thing? The general thing is like, so you can, it's like an everyday rating for life. Like for your, like,
yeah,
your
like
person,
let's say
like
you're walking through the mall and you bump into somebody by accident.
Yeah.
And you don't say sorry, right? Basically, what happened in Black Mirror.
The Black Mirror episode, that's
right? Like,
that's the, oh shit, I did not see
like,
that. I saw
like
something
she
else.
bumps into him and she doesn't say sorry because she was in like a rush or doesn't do something, and he declines her rating. She makes it lower, or he makes it lower on her.
like any interaction with anyone.
Any interaction, any person,
I don't
anything. See, now you're thinking about it though, right? To me, it's like, I think I live a life where like I say sorry, I open doors, you know, I live like a pretty proper life. I was raised well, I think, right? Obviously I make mistakes and I say things to people. I'm like, I call people stupid names and whatnot. Nothing racial, obviously, because that's fucked. But like, yeah, if people were to like,
You're thinking, oh, so holy shit.
I think we just opened the can of worms, Adam. I think he finally like.
No, hold on. Something just clicked when you said that. You're saying, but what if you're like a bad person and you just like to like lower people's ratings?
That's
then
what warrants it? Like, I'm the judge that person was bad. I'm gonna lower his rating.
okay, but you're okay. So you're
I
one.
think it's gonna be terrible.
Yeah, but you're one person though. Like even if
I'm
one
saying-
person is bad, they can only do so much damage.
I'm just saying that I can go around and do as much bad things. I'm not saying I'm going to, but I'm just saying like thinking about how people
Yeah.
run. This
Yeah.
is
the
like
whole concept wasn't like, if I see you 3 times in the matter of 5 seconds, I can just decline your rating or reduce your rating.
Can you decline the rating based on your rating?
There's no rules for this.
No. What I'm saying is, if this was implemented, there would have so many regulations on how something can affect your rating. Because if like you so much as bump into somebody and like by accident and don't say sorry, which I know kind of bizarre that someone wouldn't do that, but and for that person to be able to just lower you, I don't understand.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
It just seems like it's like you would have to have so many. If we were to do it, I feel like the U.S. and Canada or whoever implements it would do it in such a way where you take out the probability of somebody like doing something bad of malicious intent and it being like based on what you've done. More so.
Let me ask you, can I ask, what do you think are the next like real applications of ratings that you think are going to become big? Like the way that Amazon ratings for products are like so important now. Ratings for movies, I know like I use so much Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that.
Sure.
Restaurants, I always go to Google and see how many stars.
A lot already,
Huh? I'm wondering like what are the next big ones in your mind?
Well, you have right now have credit ratings for loans and bank and all that stuff.
Yeah, already a thing. But I'm saying like, what are the kind of new domains? Like
it's hard because everything already has a rating that I can think of. Like any alcohol brand has ratings on LCBO, right? Like
okay, a lot of the healthcare stuff, right? So like your current doctor, you didn't pick it based on ratings, right?
Yeah.
No,
Physio, you didn't pick based on ratings. Like they're starting to exist, but very few people are using.
Maybe airlines. I don't know if airlines are rated in terms of like obviously the travel people, like the high ups, like the tourism.
From what I saw is that sorry if I'm going off a little off topic, but you brought up airplanes. It's like I saw the rating in China. If you have a higher rating, you can like skip security lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, so sorry if to implement more ratings into things that already like I think everything already kind of has their set ratings, like movies and all these things are there. So everything really kind of already exists. It's already in place. But if we're talking social ratings now based on what we are doing, right?
No, but we talked about like let's use doctors as an example. Your current doctor. Did you
Yeah.
pick your doctor through ratings?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Do you see in the future that people might pick their doctor
So it would
by
be
go
professions.
Huh?
It would be like all professions, like profession based on rating.
Yeah, like I'm looking for a new doctor, you know. I go to a website, ratedoctors.com, and that's where I pick my doctor. Versus in today's world, you probably picked your doctor either based on who your parents went to
Yeah.
or who a
Yeah.
friend recommended.
Doctor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. So I'd say like a majority of um, people that are giving like a profession, like a doctor or everything would have that now
In the
be a
future.
thing where it's like you're
Right.
looking for something that you need. For sure, it's going to be like you need to look for the best rating.
Right.
Like, oh, that dentist, he has a great rating. I'm going to go to him because that guy looks like he has a terrible rating.
What do
Right.
you think it's going to be rating? What do you think's the next thing of rating, Adam?
Um I think professions is like an interesting one, right?
I
Like
really
what we're
liked
talking
what
about
you
now.
said. I like that. Like my previous employers would probably say I'm a really good guy and that I work hard. Am I the smartest? Probably not the smartest out there, right? But I'm willing to work, right? And it's unfortunate because sometimes you don't get the same opportunities as like people that go to other, schoolings and stuff like that. So I could see where that would be a beneficial thing,
Yeah.
right? Like you have two people going for the same job. One person goes to Harvard, the other goes to a junior college. They have the same degree, but you're obviously going to more likely pick the guy that went to Harvard, even if his interview was a little bit worse, right?
Yeah.
He may not be a hard worker. He may just be naturally smart. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think
Yeah.
it's social rating saying like, oh, this guy's a good person. He's gonna, he's gonna go out of his way for the company. He's gonna do whatever it takes to make the company succeed. Is definitely huge in terms of. I think that's part of the social rating is what you.
Yeah. There's a cool one I saw. This guy started a website. I don't think it took off, but it was aimed at, I think, trying to help people like prove their skills. So an example would be like I go on here and it says like what skill do you want to prove? And let's say I'm good at like logo design, or I think I'm good at logo design. It says like upload some of the logos you've designed. So you upload it, and then in order to get a rating, you have to review other people's works. So
Okay.
um, it goes on and it shows me two different people's portfolios. Person A, person B. It shows me their logo designs, each of them, and it says which one do you think is better, A or B? I click B. Then it shows me another two people, their logo designs. Which ones do I think is better? A. And then based on that, like based on everyone kind of crowdsourcing their information, it would tell you you are in like the 85th percentile for like logo design. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
It'd be a
like
little harder if there was like writing stuff and things like that because like I don't think people would take the time to actually
to read it.
to read it and go through each one, but like some like simple basic math problems and things like that, I could see it actually being a beneficial thing.
Yeah, for writing, maybe it's like put in like write 3 sentences on blank. And then each person just has to read person A's and person B's 3 sentences and then
Yeah,
they click which is better. Anyways, I thought it was a cool concept. It's kind of related to this.
I,
No, it's
I
not
think we're I
socialism
think we're being rated like
in a lot of
regardless
ways.
of like with everything. I
Yeah.
think it's going to become a social norm. I think it's already a social norm, right? Like we may not rate online and in on apps and stuff like that, but like I think with myself, if I'm buying something off someone, I'm messaging, right? Like if I see their name on Facebook, I go to their mutual friends with me. If I have mutual friends, I'm asking that person, hey, can I trust this person? Or hey, is this person going to fuck me
Yeah.
over? Right?
Yeah.
That's technically that person rating that person. Like my
Totally.
friend rating that person saying, hey, no, you can't trust them. Don't buy that from them.
Think
Or
about like podcasts. Like so many people are starting podcasts these days. So maybe in the future, a lot of people are going to put like, their podcast as a hobby on their resume, right? Under like at the bottom under like other interesting
Yes.
things about me. Like you might if you're reviewing resumes and like all these kids have their podcast on it and like one of them has like way more followers, like that might give them an edge in terms of like credibility.
yeah, I
So it kind of
think
exists.
it's a scary thing to think about, right? Not being able to sit on the plane in certain spots because of like I don't even know. It's like it's scary to think about, man. I don't want to be rated. I don't want to be rated.
You're a good guy, Jesse.
Like I want to be
you
rated
get a good
because I
rating.
know I'm good,
You're a good
right?
person.
Like I know I'm a good guy. I'm like, ladies, hit me up, kind of thing. But like, I'm talking to two guys that are in relationships. I'm the single man in this podcast, but
I'd give you 5 stars.
I'm thinking a 10 out of 10, maybe a 11 out of 10 there if you're asking me.
You want to do a rating system out of 10?
Out of tender, not out of 10, out of tender.
Oh, a tender.
Yeah.
Look at you, eh?
Yeah.
Not a
I don't know.
sponsor, not a sponsor.
We have a minute left. Should we continue this conversation? I have another meeting set up if you want. If you have anything else to say. I think we didn't even touch on like a couple of the questions.
If you have more things you want to talk about, I'm good to keep it going a bit more.
Okay. So I'm going to end this and then I'm going to
You'll
start.
cut out when you started talking about the next meeting.
No, I'm gonna make a thing where I go do 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 do.
Gotcha.
You're doing it right now.
Do 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 do. Just waiting for Josh to join the second meeting.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. This is a fucked up topic. Believe me. Do 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 do. I don't know, man. I'm like you said, you're gonna give me a good rating, right? But
Yeah.
like I know people in high school, there's certain people that wouldn't give me a good rating, right? Like Josh said, what's the like what are we allowing people to do?
Is Josh here or no?
Yeah. He's here.
Terrible
there
password for
there
the
you
Zoom,
are. I didn't
by
see
the
you.
way. Terrible password for the Zoom, by the way. I couldn't tell if it was a capital fucking K or God damn it, whatever.
My thing is just like, man, I can't fathom that like if everybody is gonna be able to I don't even know, man.
I think I was definitely under the impression that when we were talking about it, it was going to be like that Black Mirror episode. I think I fear that. But if we're talking the uses, what already exists with ratings and how it's been, I think it's just going to, the more professions that come out with it, we're just going to base everything on ratings at that point. So I do agree that social ratings for professions are going to grow, definitely. As more people, it's such an interesting time to like think about it too. It's like everyone's kind of in this limbo, like a lot of people are because of this pandemic, right? So they're going to need to find new professions, and you're going to have to base like a lot of interviews are going to come up, right? Like if you think about it.
Yeah.
People are going to need to no credibility at this point.
I'm hoping for it in the professions. Like, for instance, hopefully my physiotherapist isn't listening. I don't see why she would be listening to this. There's no way she's going to be listening to this. But like, I have no fucking idea if she's good or not. Like, just based on my gut feel. Like, she's the only person I've ever gone to for physio. So, like, I've heard lots of times people in the past comment around like massage therapist comes to mind, where like someone's like, like the person I go to for massages is good, and then they'll try a new one and they'll be like, I can't believe that person I went to all that time I used to think was good. Like they were shit in comparison.
It's fucked, man.
So far.
Right? So my physio person could just be making things just like worse or just not be good. And I just don't, I can't say, oh, I just want to go sample a few more like physio. Like I don't even know. So,
See,
so
that's
anyway,
why
ratings would help.
I think that's why Barstool Sports, Barstool Pizza Review is very credible.
And that's
'Cause
why the tender dude is,
it's going to be credible. You'll see.
yeah.
You know why? It's because here's my thing. You know, when you look at a stat in sports, right? And like, let's say it's his first like 20 games and he's hitting or he scored 20 goals, right? So he's averaging 20 goals, right? Or in baseball, he's hitting 400, which is Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
These people, or in the stats at the bottom, always says based on minimum at bats of 400, right? There's always a minimum at bats or minimum games played or minimum times spent playing.
Mhm.
When it comes to social ratings, I think there has to be like a based on 10,000 interactions.
I mean, like I agree with you, but you can build a system that accomplishes that. Like Amazon is like that. I see this number of stars, and then I also see the number of people who did the review. So I'd
But
rather
that's the
something
thing.
that's
Exactly. I think like I'm gonna buy. What if something that says Amazon Choice? Okay, I'll ask you this because we're on Amazon. It says Amazon Choice.
what do you mean Amazon choice? Like the is that what it says? The Amazon
So Amazon
recommended or-
Choice means it's like Amazon recommended. It's one of
Okay.
the top
Yeah.
products.
Yeah.
Excuse me. What if it's an Amazon Choice product, but only has 2 reviews, both 4 stars?
Nah, get out of here. That's
Why?
nonsense.
Amazon recommends it.
I don't
Amazon
care what
is
Amazon represents.
No, but it
I don't-
also depends what else is right there. I bet there's a 5-star thing with like 400 reviews.
What
right
if
next
it's the only option?
Amazon recommended could be biased based on they could be
Being paid.
yeah, they could be being paid.
Yes.
They could have manufactured it themselves so that they have like better margins on it. So like I would only maybe trust that if there's 2 identical products, like both 4.8, both 500 reviews, then it gets a slight edge. But to me, the ratings is way more valuable.
Okay.
I do agree.
But I think you need a based on at least a certain amount. I think you need like a minimum 400 at bats, you know? You know, all these athletes out there, they'd be pissed. They'd be pissed if everyone said like, "Oh, you're batting like garbage." Right? But
Yeah,
let
well,
alone
Talk about ratings of people. You play NHL right now, and you have like a rating. Like you try to build up your be a pro, and
Yeah.
your rating starts at a 70. You wanted to get it to an 8. You know what I mean? Like imagine that. Imagine you're rated out of 100 of being a person.
well, think about NBA, yeah, and all these things, the post-game interviews.
Definitely
and-
it feels stressful.
Depends
it feels
on
like it
what
would be
you
stressful
say.
to have a rating.
Yeah, it depends on what you say.
Stressful.
But that I think that's some of the stress that's coming with social media is like there's stress behind you post something, and like there's stress about like are people gonna like it, like how it's a proxy in a way for your worth, like especially like when you're younger, when you're a teenager,
Well,
it's
for
very
somebody
similar.
like me too, I'm one of those people. So
So
like
you
if
feel bad. You feel bad about it when like when you share something and people don't
don't like.
it. Yeah,
It seems oddly destructive to me.
It's
I
it's
agree.
gonna destroy the world. You'll see it. That's
I
why
agree.
It
I
seems
like the
oddly destructive
question
to me.
you posted, like that you sent me. It's like, should Instagram hide their likes?
They did.
Or, I know, no, but it's only hidden in Canada right now, and in certain parts. It's not hidden all over
Actually,
the
I
world.
think it's back.
So it's back on your computers. If you go on your computer,
Instagram they realized that
Oh.
people want what's not good for them.
yes.
We love to see the number of likes, even though it just makes us feel so shitty.
We love
100%.
fast food. We love fast
We
food.
do.
Now I'm gonna jump into another question that you had,
Yeah.
and I've highlighted it on my end.
Okay.
Do you feel
After this, I'm gonna go if that's okay.
Yeah, it's bedtime.
Yeah, it's bedtime. Puppy
Do you
day
feel
tomorrow.
bad when you give a bad rating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, here's the thing:
Okay.
when you're
you go.
giving the rating, What's your criteria? Let's say you're going to a restaurant, right? The food is unbelievable, but the service is awful. Are you giving a bad rating? If it's only one rating you can give, what are you giving?
I wouldn't give a rating the first time.
To me, the bigger the company or like the establishment is, the less shitty I feel about giving them a bad review.
Yeah, if you go to like Tim Hortons or something.
Yeah. I'll give it. Yeah. You go, Josh.
No, you go.
No, I was just gonna say Tim Hortons. Like, if I have a really bad experience with them, I don't feel bad about giving them a bad rating because it's not hurting one person. Versus like if it's like one person's like small shop and this is their livelihood, like I could really affect them based on like maybe one rating or one bad review. So
because somebody sees it and then nobody goes there again. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great point. Because
I give the rating true to the thing, regardless of size. You can call me an asshole if you want, but like if the service is not good, so Uber Eats is like the prime example. When I order from Uber Eats, right? If my food is bad, I give it a 0. I give it a 1, whatever the lowest is. But if my delivery guy is quick, he comes to my door, he leaves it on the porch, he's wearing gloves, he's wearing a mask because of Corona, I'm giving them a 5. Right, because it's not the delivery guy.
But then you have. Wait, what?
Like if the food is bad, I'm gonna give it a 0. Right?
Sure,
you give 2 ratings.
If the delivery guy is great,
2 ratings.
You give 2 ratings.
No, there's 2 ratings on Uber Eats. There's 2 ratings on Uber Eats.
Okay.
Right, but I'm saying if there was 1 rating, I'd give it like a 3-star. I'd cut it in half.
Cut it in half based on
right, I'd give it the average.
I was just saying like. If I was there one time and I had a bad experience, I'll never give. Like,
so would you go back because you had a bad experience and you saw a bad?
If it's a big chain, and I like that place, if I had a bad experience, I'd be like, okay, that person was having an off day. It's not usually like this. I'll go back another time. If it was exactly the same, I'd be like, all right.
Can't wait for those jackassers chicken fingers.
Oh, look at you! Is it on the way?
No, I can't wait for them. When talking about like.
Listen, I think this has been like kind of eye-opening for me if that's a real thing.
Listen, I'm rating you right now whether you fucking like it or not. Okay? I'm telling everybody that you're a good guy. You're a good guy. Mediocre at sports, but you're a good guy.
Guaranteed I have a higher rating than you. Just going to put it out there right now.
In conclusion, what's like your in conclusion? I'm not scared if it becomes a thing. That's like my thing.
In conclusion, I'm a little scared, but
sure I am.
I'm a pretty good guy.
I'll hope for the best.
You'll hope for the best, expect the worst.
Yeah.
I hope if it ever happens, I hope they figure it out. I can do it right.
Listen. As soon as they go live with it, there can't be any hiccups. It's one of those things that if there's a hiccup, people are screwed.
You got to work on getting better at that point.
There's no patches.
Some lives are going to be ruined by whatever.
Yes, there's no patches. There's none of that.
But the same thing happens today. Same thing happens
today.
At
0?
Lives are ruined by Twitter, right? Like sometimes.
Yeah, it's true.
You can ruin someone's life.
I think that was a good statement. Some people's lives are already being ruined, and we don't have these there. I think that's it.
Oh, wow, look at you. But do you want to write that on a fucking shirt, Jesse?
Maybe I will. Well, Adam, it's been real.
I like it a lot. But it's like, it's so scary, man. It's so scary if that's going to be a legit thing.
Adam, it's been real.
It has. Thank you guys for having this convo with me.
Bro, sorry if I took that topic and I ran with it in so many fucking directions.
No, don't apologize. That's what it's about.
My rating has gone down because of this conversation.
Speaking of ratings, make sure you
5
give
stars to both of you guys.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
Make sure you give our
the
podcast 5 stars on Apple Music, Spotify, and everything, as well as Adam's. Give his.
Yes. Where can they find you?
They can find me on all the podcast, same ones as you guys. All the podcasts.
I'm gonna link it again in the description.
Thank you. Thanks,
Beautiful.
Jesse.
And we will
joining us.
See ya next
Tuesday.